Hey everyone, it's Brandon here from DailyIFix.com. So I'll be giving you guys a recap of the Apple event that took place today in Cupertino. And it was a very interesting event. A lot of stuff was announced. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So Tim Cook opened up with the Apple Watch and was basically talking about how the first generation Apple Watch has a customer satisfaction rating of 97%. He then went on to talk about some of the revolutionary apps that will be coming to the Apple Watch. And there are over 10,000 watch apps in the App Store right now. But one of the great additions is going to be called Transit. It is the public transportation app that will make public transportation a lot easier. Airstrip was another very cool and interesting app that was announced, and it basically gives you waveforms and lab results. It's basically for doctors. It's a very health-oriented app, and it basically shows you a closer look at your blood pressure waveform, and it also updates live from your wrist. So you'll be able to see your live blood pressure, as it's happening in your body. There's also an amazing new sense for babies on the watch, which will actually interact with sensors on the mother's belly. So basically, while she's doing this test, the mother will be able to hear the baby's heart rate from her wrist. How cool is that? So obviously that's not going to appeal to everybody and not their big target audience, but that is a very cool feature, and that's all because of Watch OS 2, which is the second OS for the Apple Watch. Apple also introduced new cases and new models. Nothing too crazy on the Apple Watch. It's basically the same thing with just Watch OS 2, which is the next version of the operating system for the Apple Watch, and it is also available in rose gold. So the next product that was announced was the iPad Pro, which we basically knew this was coming. All the rumors pointed to this, and it was actually pretty spot on with the rumors. So Tim Cook came out and said that this is going to be the biggest news in iPad since the iPad. And about the iPad Pro, he says, quote, "It's the most capable and powerful iPad we've ever created. It's chock full of amazing technologies and innovations." And so it does have the 12.9-inch screen as rumored, and it has 5.6 million pixels in the screen. That's the most pixels ever in an Apple product. And the technology behind the screen includes a custom timing controller, which is similar to what you'll find in the existing 5K iMac display. It's also similar to oxide TFT material. Perhaps the best feature of the iPad Pro is the new A9X chip. This A9X chip has 2 times the memory bandwidth and 2 times the disk performance of the A8X chip. And it also has 2 times the graphics performance of the A8X chip. The iPad Pro will also have a 10-hour battery life, along with, on the audio front, you've got 4 speakers with automatic sound balancing between the left and right depending on how you're holding it, which is very cool, but you can't really tell how good it works until you actually have it in your hand. We were also introduced to some new accessories. So there's the Smart Keyboard and the Apple Pencil. So the Smart Keyboard is basically just how it sounds, and the Apple Pencil is basically what we expected. It's a stylus, but it is called the Apple Pencil. What's cool about the Apple Pencil is that the sensors in the pencil detect the position, force, and tilt. You can also plug it into your iPad Pro Lightning port to charge it. We then got demos of multiple apps that take advantage of drawing with the pencil, and those all arrive in October. So the pricing for the iPad Pro starts at $799, and the pencil is $99, the keyboard is $169, and they start shipping in November. We also got introduced to the iPad Mini 4, which is basically just a smaller, lighter version, and it starts at $399. Next up was the Apple TV, which a lot of people were really excited about. So the Apple TV has a whole new UX, and it has its own new App Store. You can also tell Siri to play something on your Apple TV, and you can actually get hypercritical with it too. You can say, for example, "Show me that Modern Family episode with Edward Norton in it," and it will bring you right to the page for that specific episode. It also has universal search now, which basically means that Siri will search iTunes, Hulu, HBO, Showtime, and more. Another cool feature with Siri and the Apple TV is that you can say, "What did she say?" and Siri will skip back 10 to 15 seconds and let you rewatch what you just missed. And the new operating system in this new Apple TV is called tvOS. We also got to see a lot of demos of some of the games that will be on the Apple TV, and they play very similar to the Nintendo Wii. So it's basically just like the Nintendo Wii, except for it uses Bluetooth 4.0 technology, meaning that you won't have to actually point the remote at the box for it to pick up your motions. So the pricing for the Apple TV starts at a 32 gig for $149 and the 64 gig for $199, and they ship out in October. So next up is the iPhone. This is what everybody was waiting for, and of course they saved the best for last. So Tim Cook didn't waste any time. He announced the iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus almost immediately. So these phones are going to be made with new aluminum that are supposedly going to be using the same alloy as what is used in the aerospace industry. And as expected, the screens do bring pressure sensitive Force Touch, which Apple is calling 3D Touch. The displays are also covered in a new stronger type of glass. They didn't really specify exactly what that glass was, but they did indeed say it was stronger. The iPhone 6s and the 6s Plus come in rose gold, gold, silver, and space gray. So let's touch on 3D Touch a little bit. So it basically will work on the home screen as well as inside of apps, and it's basically going to give you shortcuts to things you use and do frequently. So inside of apps, you can use a long press to peek at your items, or maybe just open them up full screen. And what makes this possible is the Taptic engine, similar to what you find on the Apple Watch and some of the new MacBook trackpads. The iPhone 6s and 6s Plus will be sporting the new A9 chip, not the A9X chip. This is a 64-bit chip with a new transistor architecture. And compared to the A8 chip, it is 70% faster at CPU tasks and 90% faster at GPU tasks. The M9 Motion coprocessor is also built directly into the A9 chip, so it's embedded this time and always on. The 6s and 6s Plus also come with the 2nd gen Touch ID fingerprint sensor, which should definitely help with the accuracy. As for the camera, the 6s and 6s Plus come with a 12 megapixel iSight camera with 50% more pixels than before, and that does indeed mean that it shoots 4K video, which is 8 million pixels per video. That is amazing. I definitely can't wait to get some tests out to you guys so you can see those on the day that it comes out. So the front-facing camera also got a minor bump to 5 megapixels, and it also uses True Tone Flash, kind of. It's basically using a Retina display as flash and a feature called Retina Flash. So basically what's happening is that the display lights up 3 times brighter when you need it to use it as flash. So it's basically using your screen turning white as flash. So another cool thing about the photos is a feature called Live Photos, where you basically force press to see motion in a photo. It's basically like a GIF or GIF. So you can think like water ripples in a shot of a lake. So like if you take a still picture of a lake, if you force press down on that picture, you will see ripples and hear the sound from it. So basically how it works, it's on by default and it's accompanied by a new icon at the top of the camera that shows a yellow live button. And basically what's happening is the camera is extending capture a few seconds after your finger hits the shutter. So it's very cool, very, very innovative feature. So connectivity wise, the LTE will be 23 bands and the Wi-Fi will be up to twice as fast as before. Another funny thing that was thrown in there is that we were introduced to a new app that will make it easy for people to move from Android. So it's basically an Apple app in the Google Play Store, and you download it and upload all your photos and all your important information from your Android phone, so it makes it easy to transfer over to iPhone. So the pricing for the 6s and 6s Plus is the same pricing as the 6 and 6 Plus. So $199 for the 16 gig, $299 for the 64 gig, and $399 for the 128 gig. And pre-orders start this Saturday, September 12th, and they will be available for purchase on September 25th. iOS 9 also comes out next week on September 16th, and iCloud also got a new pricing structure. So 50 gigs will only be 99 cents per month, 200 gigs will be $299 a month, and 1 terabyte will be $999 a month. And then the event closed with OneRepublic performing a few of their songs. So that is it, guys. That was my recap of Apple's September 9th event. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know in the comment section below, will you be throwing your iPhone 6 or 6 Plus out for the new 6s and 6s Plus? Will you be throwing your iPad mini out for the iPad Pro? Let me know what you think of all the products introduced and what you think you'll be buying later on this month. So thanks again for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.